Hey guys, Eric here again with Pioneer Survival Company, and today I'm going to be setting up and reviewing the OneTigris Tegimen. Basically, this is a hot tent that also allows you to hang a hammock in it, so you don't have to carry tarps, anything like that with you. Let me go ahead and get this set up, and then I'll kind of walk around it, show you how it's put together and everything. Really simple, really easy tent to put up. As you can see, down around the bottom here, you've got 3 stakeout points along the sides, and then you have 1, 2, 3 guy lines. Now on these guy lines here, you can actually use pulls. You just kind of run them through this here and then attach your string to it. That will bring the sides kind of straight down like a normal cabin tent would be. However, I don't have any pulls for this. It didn't come with pulls, and honestly I just didn't feel like making any. So what I did was just attach them to nearby trees. You can see here on the corners, and then the center one I just ran straight down. It gives you plenty of space on the inside, and as long as you have trees close enough, that's a very viable option that works pretty well. For the ridge line here, you can see there's tie out points that run down the peak of the roof of this. So you basically just run your ridge line right through those, and then I've actually put poles out here because I camp out here a lot. I like to hang my hammocks and tents, so I have poles on each side. But if you've got trees, it's the exact same way. You just tie your ridge line directly to those, and you've got this piece that's adjustable. Now I did go ahead and on my ridge line here, I made a press-it loop so that it's adjustable. You can just slide it left and right, and it doesn't move on its own. You have to actually push on it to make it move. So that way I can adjust the tension of the roof. And on the other side, let me walk around there. Try not to trip over all my guy lines. On the other side, basically this is just, I copied this directly from a tarp configuration. I go around this pole here, then I come back with a trucker's hitch here to pull the ridge line nice and tight, and then I tie it off with a half hitch, and well, that came untied overnight in the wind, but I had just kind of bunched up my excess string, or paracord I mean. And then the tag end of your half hitch that you have after you tie it off, that's what I actually use on this side to actually hold this. What I probably should have did was run the ridgeline through that grommet. That's what I usually do, and it looks like I actually forgot to do it this time. That just gives it a little more you know, a little more strength, I guess. It holds it a little better, so that you don't have quite the amount of just flopping right on the very end of the tent. But you know, it works just fine if you forget to do that too, obviously. And then on the ends of the tent, you've just got 2 stake points, to kind of pull your doors outward. Now if you notice, the peak of the tent actually comes out further than the bottom. This is important because this is for the hammock feature. If you can see here, there's these two zippers right here, and I talked about this in another part of the video, but I want to go ahead and just show you. It gives you just like a couple inches here, and that's so you can run your hammock straps right through here, tie it off to your pool that your ridgeline's tied to, and then you can zip it up. You don't have to worry about if it's raining or anything, water, you know, running down your hammock strap into the tent, because these tighten right up around it, and then this overhangs, so you know, you don't have the problems that you have with some tarps where the water wants to run down your hammock strap and right into your hammock and soak you. That's never fun. And I'll go ahead and just I've got the front of this opened up. Just give you a shot of how much room's really in here. You know, that's your standard size cot right there. I already picked up the camp chair over there in the corner, but you know, normal size camp chair. Then I was just using a bucket as a table last night. I've got a camp stove here. Now, if I were to move my cot all the way to the front door here, there's still plenty of room to fit another cot widthwise across the back of this. I've actually done that before. Last time I went out camping in this, me and my buddy went out. We shared the tent and both had our own cots out here. And if the stove wasn't here, you could actually fit a third cot along this wall. So that's really nice. In theory, you might even be able to fit 3 cots in the hammock across the very top if it was hanging high enough. I don't know if I'd want to be the person underneath that though. The only other thing I should probably talk about is just the stove jack there. This is made of some kind of heat resistant material. Not entirely sure what it is. Obviously I got it a little hot a couple times. Hasn't really burned too bad though. It was the first time I actually had used this tent and the stove, and it got a little out of control. The stovepipe was cherry red. I didn't realize how fast it would heat up, so now I've dialed that in, and no, not to make that mistake. But all you do on that, there's a stove jack on the side and one on the top. Basically, you pull this cover up that exposes your stove jack, where you can just run your pipe right through it, and then I'll show you on this one since I already like that. You basically just roll up your flap, and it's got a little ground, or a little cinch thing to tie that up. The other nice thing about this, stove jacks are actually replaceable. They just peel off, so you can actually buy replacement ones. You know, once I burn that off, I'll probably end up replacing it, or maybe I'll just swap out the one down there since I never used the side one. But as I said, I haven't had any problems with this burning. That was still a little warm. That was just the first time I used it. I was just dumb. Didn't know how to use my stove. Alright, well, we have the tent all set up now. I've got my stove installed in here, and it's balmy. I'm actually sweating, believe it or not. Let's see, my watch says it's 19 degrees outside, and I've had this fire going for about 15, maybe 20 minutes, and as you can see, it's almost 50 degrees in here now. I have about 46 degrees in here right now. However, the thermometer is setting down close to the ground, so it's it's hot when you're standing up. Some specs on this tent. Let's see here, I got this wrote down. The tent weighs 6.8 pounds when it's all packed up and put in the bag. It doesn't actually come with poles. That's an attempt to make it lighter, so you can either tie the guy lines off to trees that are around you, or you can just cut some branches off that are about the right height. I'm judging, I just tie it off the trees, but I'm judging, the poles would probably need to be, I don't know, 3.5 feet tall, maybe 4, and you'd need 6 of them. You could also probably just buy some cheap poles and throw in the bag. However, that will increase the weight. This isn't a tent I would ever take like backpacking with me or something like that, though. 6.8 pounds, that's too much. There's better options for backpacking. But if you're like, say a hunting camp, or you're just going to be, spending a few nights someplace, this thing's perfect. It's made of a 70D ripstop nylon, and it's got YKK zippers on both sides. YKK is like top of the line. Those are the best zippers you can have. It might be hard to tell with the camera being in here, but this tent is 12.5 feet long by 6.6 feet wide, and it's about 6.2 feet tall. I'm 6'4", and my head, I have to bend down slightly, but there's plenty of space where you can get up, walk around, and change clothes, things like that. I'm just a tall person. The stove jack, there's actually 2 stove jacks in this. There's one on the pitch of the roof, and there's one on the side of the tent. That way you can use multiple configurations of tent stove, and those openings are 3.3 inch by 3.3 inch. Make sure we're still recording here. The value of this tent, well, as of recording it, it was $199. Overall, I've used this thing quite a few times, and it's held up really well. I don't have any complaints about it. Now I think I'm going to just enjoy a little bit of the night. Like I said, it's I think it's supposed to get down to like 14 degrees tonight. So I'm definitely going to have to, it's getting pretty dark out now, but I'm going to have to gather up some more wood. Luckily I have a pile of it already out there. I just got to cut it down a little bit. I will be doing another video actually on this stove that I have here. So keep an eye out for that. I really like this stove, actually. That might be too big of a piece. Really like this stove, and it fits perfectly inside this little tent. So, I think I will kind of hunker down for the night. See if it's scalding. No, it's not. I think for right now, I might just have myself a little tea. And I'm going to try to stay warm. Brisk out here today. It's about 20 degrees outside right now, and at least 20-mile-an-hour winds, I'd say. But it's not too bad in the tent still. I'll go ahead and take you back in there because it's cold out here. I'm going back in where it's warm. All right, well, as you can see, I kind of switched my setup around a little bit last night. Got my cot in here and moved the chair and stuff, so I mean there's plenty of room in here. I mean I could still easily fit a cot along the back wall. Stayed pretty decent here. It looks like it's about 50 degrees in here right now, and the fire's just embers now. It's pretty much burned out, but about 20 degrees outside. Last night it got down to I think it was about 14 degrees, and it stayed about 50 in here. So it got cold a couple times throughout the night. mainly because, well, I fell asleep in the fire, almost burned out. But you know, as long as I kept at it, you know, it stayed pretty toasty in here, so wasn't too bad. This is the first time that I've actually camped out in this cold of weather, and I mean, I've camped out in like, you know, 40s and stuff before, but this is the coldest yet I've been in. And I noticed it does have a condensation issue. I mean, that's just the way it is, since it's, you know, just one layer and it's just ripstop nylon. Cold outside, heat inside, me breathing, it gets condensation on the walls, so not much you can do about that. I'm wondering if maybe I could crack the zippers at the top, and maybe that would let a little bit of airflow come through up at the top, and maybe get rid of a little bit of that moisture, but I don't know if that would work or not. So overall though, you know, great night. It wasn't too bad. Even with the winds picking, I think there was like 20-mile-an-hour winds last night too, so yeah, it was pretty brisk. I had to go outside once or twice, I think, throughout the night. You know, nature calls, but yeah, that was cold. But it definitely felt nice to come back in here and just relax a little bit. Well, I hope you liked this video. If you'd like to see more like this, check us out on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube at Pioneer Survival Company, or go over to our website where we offer online and in-person classes, have blog articles. Wild in the World is our kind of adventure series where we travel to different places throughout the U.S. That's pioneersurvivalcompany.com. Thanks for watching.